Today we're going to be replacing the outer tie rod ends on the 2018 Buick Enclave. To get started, set the emergency brake, put some wheel chocks in the back, then we're going to be jacking up the vehicle, put a good quality jack stand under there as well. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jacking this up on the pinch weld, and I'll show you where this goes here in a minute. But if you're not familiar with these pinch weld adapters, see the link above. I go into a lot more detail on where you can get these and how these work. But this is really the best way to jack this up because you're going to be using the pinch weld. After you get the vehicle jacked up and secure, then we'll go ahead and remove the wheel, and it's just going to be a 22 mil. Now that we have the wheel off, we have access to our outer tie rod here. So the first thing we'll do, we'll put some PB Blaster here. We'll take a wire brush, and then we're going to loosen up this 21 mil nut. Now we're ready to remove this nut here, and this is just going to be an 18 mil. Before we do that, we're going to again put PB Blaster and a wire brush down here. If this nut starts spinning here when you're removing it, just make sure you put an 8 mil down here, then use an open end or something up here to get that off. Now, very important, if you're going to be reusing this tie rod and you're doing a different repair, you want to be very careful on damaging this boot here. You're going to make sure you use a tie rod puller here. If you're going to be replacing it like we are here today, you can get a little rough with it, but typically what I do is just put it in like that, then use a hammer down here, and just pop it loose like that. Now we're ready to remove the tie rod end. And what we're going to do here is we're going to count how many rotations this comes off here, and then we're going to put our new one on the same amount of turns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So roughly 17 turns. Now that we have the old one out, we'll compare it to our new one. And I'm going to be using the GM parts for this. And just make a note, there's a different part number for each side. So when we compare it to our new one over here, it looks good. We need to make sure we also replace this nut that goes on here, and these are the GM part numbers, and again, I'll give you those on the screen there in a minute, but it has a washer in there, and those get deformed after using them the first time, so we want to make sure we replace that. The GM nut, we're going to be reusing it because I can't seem to find one of those locally, but if you're able to, I always like to replace both of them, but for sure, make sure you replace this, but once you confirm it looks good here, then we'll go ahead and put it on the vehicle. Before we install it, just make sure you clean this up here if there's any corrosion on that, because we want to make sure that's able to sit there flush, because on these newer ones, you're going to notice it's going to have a little bit of grease there, and there's a lip, and what that lip does, it seals on there to keep debris out of this boot. Once that looks good there, then we'll go ahead and we'll thread this on here, and if you remember when we removed it, it was 17, so we'll do that same amount installing this new one on there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So then we'll go ahead, thread it in there. Then we'll install the new nut. And then we're going to torque this to 26 foot-pounds. Then we're going to do a final pass of 90 to 100 degrees. And this is spinning, so we'll go ahead and we'll put that 8 mil on the bottom. And usually after you get them snugged up like that, it should hold there enough for you to torque this. Alright, so there's the 26. Then we'll do an additional 90 to 100 degrees. Alright, so that's good enough. Then the last thing we need to do is just tighten up this jam nut. Then after you get that tightened up, just verify everything looks good here, and then repeat that same process on the other side. Once you're done with the other side, you need to make sure you go take this, get aligned. The reason you need to do that, when we took these off and we put them back on there, the amount of turns we removed, it's just getting you in the ballpark to get to a shop safely. You still want to make sure you get it aligned to make sure everything's squared up. Once you're done with alignment, then you completed the job here. So hopefully this helped you out. If it did, please give me that thumbs up. If you're interested in more content like this, please hit that subscribe. But again, I hope this helps you out, and thanks for watching.